Hi, I'm Patrick and this is the Mach-E vlog. Today we have some exciting news about the changes coming for the 2025 Mustang Mach-E, so let's go. We're going to get into all of the changes coming for our 2025, but before I even do that, I did want to mention some things that are coming over from the 2024 model that maybe not everybody's familiar with, and this is going to be, of course, the basis for the 2025. So some big changes for 2024 was it got a new motor. Basically, they took the Lightning motor and put it in the Mach-E, in the rear of the Mach-E. That gave across the board quicker 0 to 60 times. So like the fastest Mach-E, the Mach-E GT with the performance upgrade was 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. But even the premium and select models got upgraded 0 to 60 times, if that's your thing. I believe the premium all-wheel drive extended range was like 4.1 seconds, down from 4.8 seconds from previous years. So that new motor was a really great addition. They also introduced a bit quicker charging. They didn't like double the speed or anything like that, but 20% faster, which is a decent performance upgrade of the charging speed going from model year to model year. Nice to see that. We won't see like a doubling in the charging speeds until Ford adapts an 800 volt architecture for their cars. They won't be able to do that necessarily like midstream, but maybe in future models we'll see that. I'm pretty sure we will. And along with the quicker charging, we also got a little bit more range, pretty much out of every model, I think out of every trim level of the Mach-E. So like we have a 2022 Mustang Mach-E GT Performance Edition. It gets 260 miles of range. The 2024 GT got 285 miles of range, and it went up across the board. So like, up in the premiums, they got over 300 miles of range. So slight increases in the range across the board in 2024. Now, Ford didn't say like anything about charging speeds or more range coming in 2025. First of all, I don't think the range numbers will be out just yet, but there are some changes that might help range, and we'll get into that. So let's go ahead and we'll hit some of the highlights that Ford has announced. The biggest one, something that people have been asking me since basically 2020, when we first put in our order for the Mustang Mach-E, for our first one that we got, is does the Mach-E have a heat pump? And in 2025, it will have a heat pump. If you recall, they added a heat pump to the Lightning for 2024. Now they're doing the same thing with the Mustang Mach-E. This may not directly affect the EPA range numbers for the Mach-E, but it will help with the efficiency in cold weather. And the EPA, doing those tests, it's not necessarily at any like abnormally cold temperatures, but that's where the heat pump will help out a bit in those conditions. So hopefully we'll see some cold weather range improvements with the Mach-E. Nothing that'll show up necessarily on paper in an official stat, but we're looking forward to seeing that and hopefully being able to test that out if we can get a loaner from Ford so that we can do some cold weather testing. Of course, we're in California now. We may have to travel to Colorado to do some of these tests. Another big improvement that a lot of people have always asked about, and this is something that I didn't care about, but now that I've had it in other cars, I really would like to see ventilated seats in the Mach-E, and ventilated seats are going to come standard on premium models. So they only mentioned premium, and I imagine that the Select and GT and the Rally may not get these. And the reason why is Select is more of a base model trim, so I don't think it's going to get ventilated seats. And the GT has basically a different seat than the premium. So we may not see ventilated seats come to the GT. Doesn't look like it according to the press release that they just put out today, but that is a bit of speculation on my part. I would love to see it come to the GT, but if you're looking for a premium car with ventilated seats, the Mach-E will have that in the premium model, so that's really nice to see. BlueCruise 1.5, I won't get into details of that. If you're not familiar, that's the hands-free driver's assistance system that the Mach-E has. We have another video coming out on that. I meant to release it like today or tomorrow, but that'll be delayed because of this news that we have, but I'll get into some details of what the changes are for 1.5 in the next couple of slides. There's now a sport appearance package that's going to be available for the premium, and it basically is like a GT-esque looking package for the premium. It looks pretty good. Won't talk about it much because we have a lot of photos and a little bit of video on that. There's also 3 new wheel designs and colors as well for wheels. So there's some changes coming to the wheels for the Mach-E. That might be like a minor change for a lot of people, but wheels can make a car look quite a bit different. So excited to see these. I don't think we have pictures of all of them or anything like that just yet, but I'm sure we will get those in the next few months. We also have new colors, and we have 2 photos of 2 of these colors, video of 1 of these colors. But the first one is Molten Magenta Metallic Tinted Clear Coat. I had to read that because that's a long name. It looks a bit like a darker rapid red that you can get on the current Mach-E, so maybe a slightly darker hue, and the tinted clear coat will give it a really nice, deep, rich vibrance to it that I'm literally looking forward to seeing in person. So the next one is Velocity Blue Metallic. No word on if they're dropping any color, so that's something that I would be concerned about with Velocity Blue. Are we going to lose Grabber Blue? I hope not. You never know. But it's Velocity Blue is like a little bit of a darker Grabber Blue. And I think it has a little bit more richness to it. It's the color that I was originally hoping to get on our Mach-E, but then I saw Grabber Blue and I'm like, I like that a lot as well. So I'm happy with Grabber Blue. Excited to see Velocity Blue. Hope it doesn't replace it, but maybe it will. We'll see. I don't have a photo of that on the Mach-E, but I do have one that we'll share with the on a Mustang, a previous edition Mustang. And then Desert Sand, and I think this one is interesting. It's on the Mach-E Rally in the photos that we have, so we're gonna jump into that. But first, I wanna show a video real quick, that a B-roll of the Mach-E Sport Appearance Package. So here's a Grabber Yellow Premium with that Sport Appearance Package. So you can see like the front has like a GT-esque nose cone. The wheels are different from the GT. There's our 19-inch wheels. The wheel arches are black instead of body color like they would be on a GT. But you do get the red Brembo brakes, painted brakes. That's not a cover, that's actually painted. But you know, here it has like the black wheel arches. The front, that nose cone looks slightly different, the grille section. I believe it's slightly different. We'll take a look at some photos in a second and I'll show you the differences that I can spot right now. Of course, we'll have to actually see it in person to see if there are actual changes. And on the inside, you can see that they've added some red stitching in quite a few places with the Sport Appearance Package. If you recall, in the original 2021 Mach-E first edition, if you got a Rapid Red, it would have this red stitching. If you had Grabber Blue, it would have blue stitching. So it's neat to see the red stitching come back. I really liked it in our Grabber Blue first edition when it was blue stitching. But you'll see there's some other details here, some extra storage in the front center console. The gear shifter has moved. That's like a big change for us Mach-E owners, and some other minor details in the driver's display screen and stuff like that. So we're gonna jump into all of that now. Before we get into some of those other details, one of the things I should note is they haven't announced the pricing across the range of the Mach-E for 2025. But the one thing they did mention is the starting price. It is now starting at $36,495. That's about $3,500 less than what it starts at now. So it looks like they've got some more price reductions, which is sort of cool. Like they're adding a heat pump, but still we're able to find some price reductions that they are now hopefully able to pass along to customers throughout all the trims. So looking forward to seeing like what the GT and the Premium and all that other stuff costs as well. I do want to note, we just checked with Ford. One of the big questions I know everybody's going to have is, does it have a NACS or J3400, NACS port, Tesla port, however you want to refer to it? It will not have that in the 2025. A lot of people, when Ford first talked about, when Jim Farley first said that like they are going to transition to having NACS. They said that they will have adapters, and it's starting in 2025 on new Ford models, Ford EV models, they will have NACS. So they assume that the 2025 Mach-E and Lightning would come with the NACS port. And the way I read it is like it's new models. So like the 2025 Mustang Mach-E, it's a new model year, not a new model. So that's why it does not have the NACS port. I know a lot of people are going to be disappointed in that. Right now, with the current situation with the Tesla superchargers, Access Plus, there's a lot of CCS chargers still out there. EA has said that they may switch to some NACS ports and stuff. Like, we're in a transition period. I think it's fine to have an adapter, and Ford confirmed that you will be able to add an adapter to your Mach-E order in 2025. So we're just going to be in a little bit of a transition state where you'll have an adapter. So like if they did put a NACS port, you'd have to have like a CCS adapter. I think this is fine. Drop your comments down below. Like, do you wish the 2025 Mach-E would have a NACS port on it natively? I know some people said they don't want a 2024 because they're waiting for 2025 with the NACS port. So I know there's going to be some disappointed people, but it is what it is. We're going to still have adapter usage one way or the other. And this is the decision that Ford went with. So let's get into some of the sport package real quick, and we'll take a look at some of the exact details in photos. But again, like you can see the black wheels, the black wheel arches, the black mirror caps, and then that GTS grille. And I say GTS, and we'll look at this next photo here. And it may be hard to see, but like on the current GTs, it's like a front. The front is very smooth, the grille is very smooth, but when you get up close, it actually looks like it's recessed and has some complexity to it, but it's actually smooth. This one here, I don't know if this is like just a 3D rendering, and maybe that's why it looks different than the current GT. So I won't spend too much time. It's a little bit of speculation on my part, but it looks like maybe they've replaced that with a lower cost version. We actually spoke to Magna at the Detroit Auto Show a couple of years ago, and they were telling us they're the ones behind that front grille on the Mach-E. It was a very nice effect, but I know from some people that like got rock hits in that grille, it's pretty expensive. So maybe this is a cheaper option for doing a GT grille. Like I said, a little bit of speculation. It could just be the way this rendered with a 3D rendering program, for all I know. But we'll have to see that in person and keep a lookout on that. But I think it still looks great. Having the black contrast with the body color, I think looks excellent with the Mach-E, and I'm glad that it's not exclusive to the GT anymore. I know some people are going to be like, I want my GT to look completely different, be able to separate it from other Mach-Es. I don't mind. I think it looks really great, and I love seeing this. I know a lot of people have modified their current Mach-Es with like a black film that looks like a grille on their non-GTs, so I think it's just a continuation of that. Also noting here, I think this is the new magenta red color. It's a little bit richer looking, and I think in person this is going to look really great, especially with that tinted clear coat. This is the one of the only pictures of the wheels, so maybe this is one of the wheels that they're talking out of the three, but the black wheels on with the sport package. It seems the Mach-E looks really good with some black wheels or very dark wheels, so nice to see that they've added that to the sport package. And hopefully there'll be some other additions as well that we can look at over the next couple of months. Jumping into the car, like interior with that sport appearance package, again, the rear basically looks the same, but they added that red stitching. Looks really nice here. And then in the front, looks very similar, but there are some major changes here, somewhat major changes, but looks very similar here. But you can again see the red stitching. But here is like one of the first big changes. They've added more storage to the center console, which may not mean that much to you. You may not, care about having storage there. I'm not sure what I would store in these. Like it's sort of like a little bit of an odd storage section. But before, that's where the gear shifter was. So the gear shifter has moved to the driver, to the a turn stalk or a stalk on the steering column. So that's different for the 2025s. I sort of got used to the one down, on the center console, very easy to reach. A lot of people did not like it there because, you know, they'll set their bag or whatever there. They talked about kids getting in and out of the car. They worried about them kicking the gear selector and things like that. So some little minor things like that. But I don't know. What do you guys think? I'll have to think about this, which one I prefer. Basically, I think you'll get used to it. You know, whatever location it is, it's very easy to manage. We've test driven a lot of EVs, and having it on the steering column seems like a very common location. So I think a lot of people will just be used to that. And if you haven't been in a Mach-E before, you won't even think twice about it. Now the driver's screen, I think this is really interesting. It looks a little bit different, or a bit different from what we have in our current Mach-E. Hopefully we'll get some of these changes over the air to the current Mach-E owners. They didn't say anything about that. They're only talking about the 2025. But you'll notice here, like on the left, is your basically battery percentage as well as range estimate. So that's pretty straightforward and standard. But on the right side, you'll notice that they also have, like, it looks like a power meter. So I don't know if it shows region levels, but it looks like it'll show like how much power the car is outputting. This is on the GT right now, and it's way too small. It's in the bottom left of the instrument cluster on the GT. It's way too small. I like the size of this one way better. But there's some other visual changes here as well, moving some things around slightly. I mean, I could go into details, but it's just basically a new look, whether you like it or not. Let us know down in the comments. I hope that we get these changes because I think it looks pretty good, and I really like the big power meter. The other thing that they showed here was with it in BlueCruise mode. I won't show this because I have a little bit of an animation that's showing some of the new features of BlueCruise 1.5, including automatic lane changes. Right now with BlueCruise 1.3 that we have on our car, to initiate a lane change, we have to tap the blinker, and then it will initiate a lane change if it's clear and safe to do so. And with BlueCruise 1.5, you can turn on automated lane changes, and it's just going to basically, if there's a car going slow and it sees an empty spot, it can initiate some of those lane changes for you. They said they've done internal testing, and it'll handle about 45% of your lane changes that you do while driving. So neat to see that. I'm not sure if I would turn that on. I sort of like being in control of when the car is doing lane changes. Of course, I'll test it out and see, but let me know. That's another thing that I'm interested about your feedback. Let me know, would you want automated lane changes, or do you like the ability to decide when the car is doing a lane change? So here's a little animation showing it's like initiating a lane change, slower vehicle ahead, and then initiating a lane change, leaving the passing lane. So pretty slick animations, just as they have with BlueCruise 1.3, but of course it's doing it on its own, unassisted, basically deciding when to do the lane change. And and I'll reiterate again, you can turn that part of it off if you want to just do manual lane changes. So overall, I'm going to go through quickly the differences of the different versions of BlueCruise and who has what. So on 2021 Mach-E's, right now they have BlueCruise 1.0. That's what we had on our 2022. That's basically the base level of BlueCruise with hands-free driving. We got upgraded to 1.3. There's still talk that 2021s, they're going to try to upgrade those to 1.3. I haven't heard any changes in that, but obviously that's been paused or delayed or whatever. 1.2 added lane change assist and in-lane repositioning. Again, we have videos on all of this stuff if you want to check out our BlueCruise videos. But lane change assist, that's where I was talking about. You tap the blinker and it'll initiate the lane change for you when it's safe to do so. And in-lane repositioning, that's where like if you're passing a semi truck and it's like really right there on the line, the car will scoot over like maybe a foot or so to give the truck more room and basically make it feel better to pass the big semi. 1.3 is just more refinements in all of the features of BlueCruise so that it feels better, more natural, smoother. And basically, again, 1.4 is another increase in how it feels for doing BlueCruise hands-free. The Mach-E Basically, the highest version you can get on that is 1.3, but Ford is rolling out 1.4 to some other Fords right now. I think the Ford Explorer 2025 may be getting BlueCruise 1.4. I'm not really sure. I just know that the max that you get on the Mach-E officially is BlueCruise 1.3. So BlueCruise 1.5 is coming in 2025 for 2025 models. No statement from Ford on whether those will make it to previous versions. Right now, I'm pretty happy with 1.3. The automated lane change, having that added feature, like I said, I may or may not even like that, so we'll see, but it's nice to see the improvements coming. And of course, there's a lot of talk about pricing. They reduced the cost. It was $800 a year. They reduced that down to $500, or I believe it's $50 a month. With 2025s, you can buy it in 1 year increments, I believe, or you can buy like a lifetime, and I forget the lifetime price. I think it may be $2,500. Don't worry about the price too much because things can change between now and the time you order it. So when you order, make sure you know if you're getting just a 90-day trial or a 1 year subscription or a lifetime. You want to make sure you're very clear on what you're getting when you order and what the price is actually listed at for you in your situation. So keep an eye on that when you are ordering or buying off the lot. Now the other color is that sand color, and this is it on the Mustang Mach-E Rally, which is my favorite trim level of the Mach-E. Now, if you haven't seen our Mach-E Rally video when we went up to Dirtfish Rally School and actually got to drive it, you should definitely check that out. It was like one of the best days I've had in a long time. I love that. The car is fantastic, does really well on the road, and of course in the dirt. So it's just like a great ride, and it's quick. It's 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds, almost as fast as GT, but not quite. I really like it. So slightly higher and a little bit of difference. As you can see in the front, it has like the fog lamps in the grille. The grille is actually different. It's like a flat black. And you'll notice like one of the big changes on this one is now it has carbonized gray wheels as an option. So on the grabber blue, if they still have grabber blue, but on like the yellow and the other color rallies in 2024, they came with white wheels. It looks like now you're going to have a carbonized gray version of that white wheel as an option. Not sure, like, can you mix and match, and if it's only on certain colors, we don't know that yet, but it's very cool to see a dark wheel. A lot of people hated the white wheels. At first, like, I recognized that they came from the rally inspired tradition that Ford has. So I liked it for that, but it did look a little bit off to me, but then I got used to it and now I really like the white wheels. But now I was just talking about, wouldn't it be cool to have a grabber blue Mach-E Rally with the carbonized gray wheels, the black stripes? I think that would look really great. But here with the sand is like an interesting color for the Mach-E, but I think it really works here on the Rally. It's hard to tell. It almost looks gray here, but it's a neat color to see on a Rally car, of course. You won't see the dirt as much. I almost want like the grabber blue so that you can see all the dirt on the side of it. But yeah, you got to let me know again, like, do you like the white wheels in the Rally, or would you opt for the carbonized gray? Of course, it still has some of the other features that the Rally introduced in 2024 with that rear wing in the back, some extra protection. There you can see the rear wing. And there's the side profile, so the rear wing really stands out. Instead of having like a piano black in the lower part of the Mach-E, that's the black area, that's all like a matte black. The wheel arches are a matte black. And I think that's smart on a car that's going to spend a lot of time out in the dirt and gravel and things like that. Hopefully, if you're using it right. And there's a close-up of the carbonized gray Rally wheels. It has a little bit of white trim, so it's like basically complete opposite of the current Rally wheel with the white with a little bit of black. This is carbonized gray with a little bit of white. So I don't know. I think it looks really Rally-esque. And I think it would be very easy to keep clean as well, which is also important. Now here's Velocity Blue on a regular Mustang. Ford didn't provide any like publicity photos of the Mach-E in Velocity Blue, but I wanted to see what it looked like, and not in one of like the 3D generated images, but this is on an actual gas Mustang. So you can see, if you're familiar with Grabber Blue, it's a bit darker. It's like a couple of shades darker than Grabber Blue. Again, don't know if they're going to discontinue Grabber Blue. I hope not, because that's the color that I would want to get if we got a 2025. But overall, it's, I think a lot of exciting stuff. The most exciting thing, I believe, for a lot of people is going to be the heat pump. That will alleviate a lot of concerns for people with cold weather range issues. Who knows how much of a difference that's going to make. I'm really excited to see the Sport Appearance Package. There's going to be a lot more GT looking Mach-E's. I think that's really cool. Ventilated seats. Don't know if it's going to come to all trims. I would love to have it on a GT or a Rally, but it's nice that they're going to offer that on their premium. I still think, this is my 2 cents. If anybody from Ford is listening, I know a lot of people have said the same thing. They'd like to get a premium with the Magna Ride suspension that's available only on the GT and Rally now, but a premium with Magna Ride I think would be a really nice upgrade for having a premium Mach-E. Of course, Magna Ride costs a bit of money, so I don't know, would you be willing to pay for the Magna Ride suspension? I know that's one of the reasons that we got the GT, not necessarily extra power, but for the nicer suspension. So we'll see. And then of course, the other stuff, new wheel designs, new colors, can make the car look quite a bit different. There's no actual like huge, visual changes. The headlamps, headlights, those are the ones that are basically were introduced on 2024 models with like a replication of the 2024 gas Mustang tri-bar effect for the blinkers in the front. So no huge overall design styling changes. It's just new wheels, new colors. The good bits, I think, have made some major improvements with the new motor in the Mach-E, introduced in 2024, slightly faster charging and slightly faster, 20%. That's actually a decent increase. And then now the heat pump, I think there's some great changes to see coming to the Mustang Mach-E. It's nice to see Ford investing into the Mach-E lineup. Sales are still doing fairly well. They're not like doubling or anything like that of what I think Ford really wanted, but they are still increasing. Mach-E sales are going up. I think this last month they may have had a dip, but compared to last year, overall the Mach-E is doing very well in 2024 compared to 2024 or 2023 compared to 2022. So it's really good to see that upward trend continue, and I'm excited to see like more changes coming to the Mustang Mach-E lineup over the next couple of years. And now it's time for you to leave your comments down below. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. If you are considering a Mustang Mach-E or you own a Mustang Mach-E, I have to mention you should join the Mustang Mach-E Club of America. It's mustangmacheclub.org. We welcome everybody from all around the country. Join that. We'll answer questions. We'll have discounts for, different accessories that you can get for the Mach-E. We'll help organize meetups throughout the country. It's a great way to meet fellow Mach-E owners, get your questions answered, find out about new information, because that's where we distribute a lot of this stuff first. Also want to thank you for just watching this video. That always helps. Give it a thumbs up. Share it to the Mach-E groups. Help get the word out about the Mach-E vlog. Having subscribers, having people click the like button, that all helps us out tremendously. And of course, people that become YouTube members also helps. We really appreciate people paying $2 a month to get little special emojis by their name when they comment, and some insider information, not insider information, behind the scenes of the Mach-E vlog. We also have Patreon memberships. So we thank our Whispered, our Engaged, and our Unbridled members. Appreciate you all very much. Your names are going to scroll across the bottom right now. Thank you for some of you that have been members for 2-3 years right now. It's amazing that you have followed along us for this whole journey, and we really appreciate all of you. She's actually over in our home office. We both work from home, so I took a lunch break to come over and do this video. She's still working, but anyways, as she would say, just remember, whatever you drive, whether it's a Mach-E, new, used, 2025, 2024, whatever it is, enjoy the ride. Bye.